This is your host to welcome you through the creaking door into the Inner Sanctum. That music you hear is a new little thing dedicated to us. A little number called Baby, It's Cold Inside. That's because the characters around here are 20 degrees below normal. Oh, speaking of characters, meet our pet ghoul, Georgie. He strayed away from us, but he came back because, as Georgie puts it, there's no place like home. Georgie was a real successful ghoul, never let any grass grow under his feet. Of course, he wasn't always a ghoul. He was quite undecided on a profession when one day he passed a burial ground, and right then and there, Georgie took a turn for the hearse.
Tonight's Inner Sanctum mystery, Image of Death, was written by Ed Adamson and Bob Sloan, and stars Barry Kroger in the role of Victor, with Jean Ellen as Kitty.
Before we begin, let me warn you, any similarity between the characters in tonight's tale and those in your nightmares is purely intentional. Okay, friend. Hang on to your nervous systems. The man stands in the dim-lit room, looking down at the motionless body on the floor. His large hands with the whipcord muscles are in startling contrast to his thin, sensitive face. For another moment, he stands there, staring vacantly. Then he walks to the telephone, dials the number, and waits.
Sergeant Ferguson speaking.
I want to report a murder. You'll find the body at 14 Crown Street.
Wait a minute, hold on, not so fast.
I'll be here, waiting for
Who's
you.
calling? Who are you?
Me? Right. I'm a man who's been dead 5 years. The police are on the way now. I sit here and I wait. And I think back over the 5 years. Back to the night that I, Victor Corday, died. I was in my studio working on the statue. There's a strange emotion that only a sculptor can feel. The exhilaration of taking senseless stone and imbuing it with life and meaning. I was so overwhelmed with the feeling that night, I lost complete track of time and place. I had no idea my wife had come into the studio and was standing behind me.
Victor.
What? Evelyn. What are you doing up this time of night?
I couldn't sleep. I was thinking.
The money again?
You know, we're almost down to rock bottom.
Darling, I told you not to worry about it.
I'm not worried anymore.
The statue will be finished in a month or two, and then...
We won't have to wait until it's finished.
What?
It'll be so easy, so sure.
What are you talking about?
Your sister, Clara.
What's she got to do with it?
Her insurance is made out to you, and Clara is a helpless, incurable invalid.
Evelyn, I don't understand.
How many times has she begged for death since the accident? How many times has she asked us to help her out of her misery?
Oh, no, Evelyn, stop
I've got it all planned. No one would ever find out.
Stop it. Kill my sister? Make myself a murderer?
She won't feel a thing. It'll be simple and quick.
I won't listen to you anymore.
You'll do it, Victor, whether you want to or not.
Evelyn, get away from that statue.
This will make you do as I say.
Evelyn! Destroyed. All months of work. Destroyed.
Now there'll be nothing coming in, Victor. Now you'll have to do exactly as I... Victor!
How could you do a thing like that? How?
It must feel a good...
How?
Let go, Victor!
How?
You're hurting me.
How?
Victor!
Evelyn was limp in my arms. When I let go, she slumped to the floor. I stood over her, wondering what had happened, when I saw the ribbon of blood at my feet, and then the bloody wall hook against which I'd accidentally pushed her. I touched her. I spoke to her, but she was motionless and silent and dead. And that was the night that I died, too. I didn't mean to kill Evelyn, but I knew no one would believe me. So I ran away, changed my name to Victor Carlin. I buried myself for 5 years. I became a gravestone cutter. I used these hands of mine for carving monuments to the dead. And for 5 years I hid, going nowhere, meeting no one. And then she came along. It was late one afternoon. I was in my shop near the cemetery, finishing work on a black marble headstone.
Hello.
What?
Victor? I said hello.
Who are you?
Oh, now don't tell me you don't remember me.
How do you know my name?
I know a lot about you. I've been watching you for a long time.
Watching me? Why?
We could be friends, Victor. You need a friend.
Will you please tell me who you are?
Kitty Regan. You can just call me Kitty. I'm a waitress in a restaurant where you eat once in a while. Wouldn't you like me for a friend?
What do you want, really?
Oh, you shouldn't be afraid of me.
I've no reason to be afraid of anybody.
Oh, yes, you have. I can tell. I've watched you. When you're out of this shop, you're always looking around, like you were running away or waiting for somebody to catch you.
You don't know what you're talking about.
And you're always alone. You're afraid to make friends. You don't have to be afraid of me, Victor. Not as long as you give me the money.
Why should I give you money?
You don't have to. I can go to the police. I can always go to the police.
And that's the way it began with Kitty. She couldn't have known what I'd done. She might have thought it was robbery or something like that, but she couldn't have known it was murder. She drained me of every penny I made. But strangely enough, I didn't mind. I actually started to look forward to her visits. And then one day I realized why. Kitty Regan was cheap and low and evil. But I'd fallen in love with her.
well, how do you like that? Oh, he says he's in love with me.
Don't laugh, Kitty, please. I want to marry you.
Marry me? Well, that's a riot. A crummy character like you. Where's my money?
Kitty, it hasn't been a very good week. I only had one job.
Well, whatever it is, hand it over.
Kitty, I want to show you how I feel about you.
You already showed me.
No, this will make you really understand. I'm going to make you a figurine in ivory. It'll be very valuable.
Oh, so you think you can make something that's worth a lot of money? You, a gravestone cutter.
I have talent in these hands of mine. Great talent as a sculptor.
Oh, sure. You're a regular Michelangelo. Come on, hand the money over.
All right. But I'm going to prove it, Kitty. I'm going to prove that I'm somebody you'd be proud to love. I realized the danger in making that ivory figurine for Kitty. It would have my stamp on it. But then, Kitty couldn't possibly know its real value. I only did it to prove to her that I was something better than a gravestone cutter. And a week after I'd given her the ivory figurine, I went to her apartment. 2 half-packed valises were on the studio couch.
What's the matter, Victor? What are you looking at?
Those bags, Kitty. Where are you going?
Oh, that. I'm moving away from here. This crummy room is getting on my nerves.
You're running away from me.
Where'd you get that idea
Kitty,
from?
don't ever run away. Because I'll follow you wherever you go.
I'm not running away. Just rented a new apartment on the other side of town in the Linda Park section.
Linda Park. You've got to have money to live over there.
So I have the money.
Where'd you get it?
It's none of your business. Let me finish packing.
Kitty,
Huh?
the figurine I made for you. It's not on the table.
What?
Where is it?
No, look, Victor, don't get excited.
Where is it? What have you done with it?
I sold it.
What?
I sold it. What's so awful about that?
You sold it? You sold my gift to you?
I needed more money. You haven't been doing so well lately, and I figured the ivory was worth something.
You shouldn't have done that.
The man who bought it said the carving was pretty good.
Oh.
You really got talent, Victor. You can become an important guy.
Kitty, I don't care about that. I just want you.
Oh. All right, Victor, then you can have me.
You mean that? You really mean that?
Well, sure. Just as long as you do what I say. How many of those figurines can you make a month?
Oh, no, I can't do that.
Sure you can, baby. You'll do it for me. Now, won't you?
Kitty, you don't realize what it may mean. There may be death in it for both of us.
You're a screwy sort of a guy, but do you know something? I'm beginning to like you.
Are you? Really?
Mm-hmm. You never kissed me, did you?
I never kissed you.
Well, come here.
Kitty.
You'll do what I want, baby. Won't you?
Oh, Kitty, I'll do anything for you. I knew I shouldn't have done as she asked. But the will to live isn't always as strong as the will to love. I worked day and night until my hands became raw from the mallet and chisel and stone. As time went on, the chances for my own personal safety became less and less. I was working in my shop one night when my dead past came to life.
Well, at last we meet, Mr. Carlin.
He was George Adrian, an art dealer from the West Coast, whom I dealt with years ago. Adrian looked at me, a sly, secret smile on his lips.
So, that's the name you use now, Carlin. Awfully close to Corday, isn't it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Corday, I consider it an honor to renew our acquaintance.
Now, see here, I never saw you before in my life.
Oh, stop it. You're just wasting time. You needn't be afraid. I'm not going to expose you. The fact that you murdered your wife is no affair of mine. Undoubtedly, she deserved it.
How did you find me, Adrian?
Oh, it was quite by accident. A young woman named Kitty Regan sold me an ivory figurine of yours. And then some more work of yours later. All of it had the unmistakable stamp of Victor Corday on it.
And what do you want?
Frankly, I'm one to take advantage of a situation.
Then it's money.
Exactly.
All right. How much?
Quite a sum. It's much more than you're able to give me at present. Now, being two reasonable men, I'm sure we can work out installments.
Adrian had my life in his hands. I had only one defense against him.
This latest piece of yours should bring you a very good price.
He stepped closer to examine the statue. My fingers tightened around the gouge in my hand.
$500 should be a reasonable amount for the first installment, don't you think?
I stepped in behind him and drove the gouge home, deep into his throat. I carried Adrian's body to the cemetery near my shop and buried it in a freshly dug grave. But I had no peace of mind. In a few days, death began to close in on me again. An art critic from a Chicago paper wanted to do an article on me, and I couldn't refuse. Kitty kept egging him on, and he insisted on seeing every bit of my work, including the tombstones I had made for the dead. The night we went to the cemetery, A heavy rain was falling. I shook with fear as we stopped at the grave where Adrian's body lay, just a few inches underneath the surface. And the rain kept pouring down, washing the dirt away.
Well, this is an interesting piece, Mr. Carlin.
It's not really one of my important works, Mr. Rogers. Shall we go on?
Oh, you mustn't be so modest. This sculpture would be worth a great deal to a gallery. Well, it's a pity that it remains here unseen.
Oh, Victor, maybe the owner would sell it back.
No, Kitty. I wouldn't think of asking such a thing. I still have other pieces we can sell. Let's go back to the shop, shall we? What are you looking at, Mr. Rogers?
The face on this figure. It's uncanny.
What do you mean?
Well, it's so much like the face of a figure I saw in Los Angeles some years ago. It was done by a man named Corday. You ever hear of him?
Yes, I've heard of it.
Your work is very much like his, especially the face on this figure.
But the face you see there is Kitty's.
Oh. Yeah, but still it might pass for the model Corday always used, his wife, Evelyn. You have a great future, Mr. Carlin.
Thank you. Now, shall we go?
Victor, can I speak to you for a minute?
Why, Kitty...
Oh, don't mind me. I'll walk ahead a bit.
What is it, Kitty?
Why'd you lie to him? That's not my face. I never posed for you.
I know that.
There's some other woman, isn't there?
No.
There is. Now that you're making money, you'll spend it on another woman, that other sculptor's wife, Evelyn. You and
Don't be
she
a
are...
fool. Evelyn Corday is dead.
Dead? How do you know?
Because her husband killed her. You see what Rogers meant yesterday? See what a great sculptor I really am, Skitty?
Could be that Rogers is dead wrong about you.
He knows Rogers is an expert.
Expert in my eye. He isn't even an art critic.
What?
He's a phony.
What are you talking about?
Rogers. He doesn't work for Chicago paper. That's just a gag.
He doesn't... Kitty, how do you know?
Oh, I have ways of finding things out.
How do you know?
Oh, let go of me, Victor. What's the
This is
matter with...
important to me.
Let go.
Tell me, how did you find out?
All right, I'll tell you. Called up the paper he said he worked for.
Yes?
I got something invested in this thing, too, you know.
And?
They never heard of him. There's no reason for you to get all hot about it.
Don't you understand, Kitty? If he isn't an art critic, why is he posing as one?
I don't know.
Well, I do know. Only I've got to make sure.
Well, what difference does it make? He's probably just an agent trying to get a line on your work.
An agent for whom? The police?
What? I never thought of that. Victor, I know you've been hiding for some reason. You're in some kind of trouble. What kind?
Let me alone. I've got to think. Kitty,
Yeah?
go back to your apartment. Stay there until I call.
Why? What are you going to do?
That's none of your business. You just stay there and wait. I may need you later on. I went to the hotel where Rogers was staying and climbed down the fire escape to his window. I opened the window carefully and went into the room. I could hear the water running in the shower. I quickly found out what I wanted to know. The identification was in his pocket. Frank Rogers, Los Angeles Police Department. Suddenly, the door to the bath opened, and Rogers was standing there in a robe.
What are you doing here, Carlin?
I knocked, Mr. Rogers, but you didn't answer, so I just came on in.
Oh, I guess I couldn't hear you from the shower. I thought I'd locked the door.
No, the door was open.
It's funny. I was sure I'd locked it. Well, however, it doesn't make any difference. You're here, and that's the important thing. Isn't it? Corday. Thanks for coming over and saving me the trouble. It's good you didn't try to run away. I'd have gotten you anyway.
You're quite wrong, Rogers. I have you. I found this gun in your pocket.
Put it down, Corday. You haven't a chance. A shot at this time of the night will bring everybody in the hotel here.
Thank you for warning me.
Killing me won't help you. I sent my report to headquarters. It'll be just a matter of time before they catch up with you.
Maybe you're right.
Sure, Corday.
I've already killed one man with this gouge.
Put that down, Corday. Stay where you are.
I'll have to do this quietly, Rogers. You warned me.
Corday, don't.
I left the hotel. A few blocks away, I went into a drugstore and called Kitty. She didn't answer. I went to her apartment. She wasn't home. I waited in the park across the street. I waited and waited. And finally she came home. And with her, there was another man. I wanted to kill them both right then and there. But I was too stunned. I wandered around for hours. And then the thought came to me. I went back to my shop and worked. For the rest of the night, I worked in a blind rage. And then this morning, Kitty came to see me.
Victor.
Yes, Kitty?
Victor, have you seen the morning paper?
No. I've been busy.
Roger's been murdered.
Has he?
He was killed in his hotel room last night.
I was right, Kitty. Rogers was from the police.
You did it, didn't you, Victor?
There. Stone's finished.
Answer me. You did it, didn't you?
Yes. I killed him.
Why?
I had to. But you won't tell on me, will you?
What makes you think I won't?
Because I'm too valuable to you. I can give you the things you've always wanted.
A lot of good you are to me now. You're a murderer.
We could run away. We could hide. They could never find us.
Not on your life. I'm not running away with you from now on. I'm running from you. I only came here to say goodbye.
Yes. I had an idea that's why you came. There's somebody else, isn't there?
No.
You don't have to lie to me. I saw you with him last night.
What?
I was outside your house last night when he brought you home.
All right, so there is someone else. You're no good to me anymore.
Oh. Kitty,
What do you want?
just one more thing.
Well, make it snappy.
I have a gift for you, Kitty. Parting gift that will stay with you long after I'm gone.
Gift? What kind of a gift?
A figure in black marble.
This one?
Yes. I worked all night on it. I think it's the most beautiful figure I ever made.
It's a tombstone.
Mm-hmm. See here? Your name engraved?
And there's a date.
Yes.
Today's date.
Yes, Kitty. Today. The date of your death.
No!
You mustn't be afraid to die.
Victor,
Just one
wait.
thrust of this gouge and it'll be all over.
No, Victor, wait. Listen to me. I won't leave you. I won't ever leave
But you don't love me.
I do. I'll prove it to you. I'll go with you. I'll run away any place
You're
you
only
want.
saying that because you're afraid to die.
No, it's because I want to be near you.
No, Kitty.
Victor, put your arms around
No, Kitty.
me. Put your arms around me. I'll show you how much I care.
You're just saying.
No, I'll prove it. Hold me tight. Isn't this nice, Victor, isn't it?
It's wonderful, Kitty.
Now, kiss me. You see, I mean it.
Kitty.
Kiss me, Victor.
Sergeant Ferguson speaking.
I want to report a murder. You'll find the body at 14 Crown Street.
Now, wait a minute. Hold on. Not so fast.
I'll be here, waiting for you.
Who's calling? Who are you?
Me? I'm a man who's been dead 5 years. And that finishes our sculptor's model story. Kitty should have known better. Fool around with a guy who works in marble and you're liable to end up stone dead. Well, that's what happens to you when you can't keep your chisel out of other people's head. Well, friends, as we say here in the Inner Sanctum, it's all over but the screaming. Now, it's all over.
States over CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System, and has been rebroadcast for servicemen and women overseas. This is the United States Armed Forces Radio Service, the voice of information and education.
Good evening, friends. This is your host to welcome you through the creaking door into the Inner Sanctum. Friends, just as you do, we're dressing up our little hovel for the coming winter season. Of course, the color scheme will still be completely black, with blood red splotches here and there to relieve the grimness. And I'm putting in a new hearth made out of an old tombstone. It has a little inscription that reads, "Here lies Lizzie Liddow, a proud and self-made widow, who bright and early one fine day sliced her husband's head away. She'd caught the culprit with a wench and won acquittal from the bench."
Tonight's Inner Sanctum mystery, Night Is My Shroud, was written by Milton Lewis and stars Kenneth Lynch in the role of Danny with Ann Shepard as Baby.
All right, friends. Sit back and collapse. Relax. Our story's about to begin. I just try to remember that none of the things you hear in our stories can happen to you more than once. Ready now. Then turn the lights down low as we hear Danny Manton tell us a strange story.
I expected any second I was going to hear a knock on the door. I knew if I opened it, Chigger would come in and kill Baby and kill me. And Chigger wouldn't kill fast. He'd take his time. You know how Chigger is. So we stayed in that crummy hotel for 5 days, afraid to go out because maybe somebody would see us and tell Chigger. Yeah, 5 days. No sleep. Too scared to eat. Nothing except the rotten coffee they sent up. Just me and Baby.
I can't take it anymore, Danny.
What's the matter?
What do you think's the matter? I'm getting out of here.
Sit down.
I don't care what happens no more. Even if Chigger kills me. I'm beginning to hear things in my head on and seeing things that ain't there.
Shut up.
No. It ain't right for a wife to walk out, I know, but Oh, Danny.
You're soft. I always knew you was soft. Mush. But you ain't walking out on me.
How long do you think we can stay here?
I'm staying until I get a call that the coast is clear.
That's what you've been telling me, but you don't get that call. Maybe you'll never get it.
Stop crying.
I can't stop.
Shut up. I think I hear somebody outside our door.
Chigger. Shh.
You hear that?
Yeah.
Somebody walking up and down.
Danny.
Skip it.
It's your own footsteps you hear.
Huh?
Don't you see what's happening? You're jumping out of your skin when you hear your own shoes make a noise.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Danny, look. Look, let's get out of here. You said when we welched that 500 from Chigger here that we'd go away and we'd work out some dance routines. Let's grab a train, Danny. We'll take our chances with Chigger. We'll go to South America, Mexico, any place. We'll work up a few numbers. Vaudeville's coming back all over again. They're even booking acts in the palace again. We'll make dough, Danny. We'll pay back Chigger and be in the clear. What do you say?
There's something queer about them footsteps.
A footstep? Danny, didn't you hear what I said?
Stop talking.
You crazy. What are you banging on the wall for?
You hear that?
Yeah. Somebody knocked back. Where'd it come from?
The next room, I think.
Why did they... Shh.
Let me try something else. Let me try a dance step.
You think they'll hear?
Quiet.
Danny.
That can't be Chigger. He could never do that.
Maybe it's a killer Chigger sent.
Why should he tell me he's next door? I'm going to do a step that nobody else in the business can do except me. Let's see what happens. Do that if you can.
What does it mean, Danny?
Someone's calling me. Someone wants to see me. Someone in the next room.
Who?
I ain't sure. But a magician in Denver once told me that when you hear something like this happen, you I'm going in there.
No, Danny,
Let
don't.
go of me.
Danny!
There was no one in the hall. I tried the door of the room on the right of mine. It was open. I went in. At first, I didn't see anything. It was black. Only the dim light coming up from the street. My eyes got used to it. Then I saw him. Standing in front of the window. He looked like me. Only he looked like I always thought I'd look when I'd be dead. That's the way the magician in Denver said it would be. A guy to spit an image of you. I was scared stiff. I yelled, "What do you want?"
What do you want?
I know who you are.
Who you are?
You ain't alive.
You ain't alive.
If I gotta live, just give me a break.
Give me a break.
Come here.
Here.
I'll grab
you.
I reached for him, but he stepped backwards right through the window and disappeared. I looked down to the street. Nothing there but some broken glass. I knew I wouldn't see anything. From what that magician in Denver told me, it could only mean two things. Either my number was up, or my luck had changed.
Danny.
Okay, baby, pack your clothes. We're getting out of here.
Danny.
What's the matter? What are you looking at me like that for? I ain't scared of Chigger now.
No, Danny.
What? Chigger. Chigger, where is he?
He's in the closet. That's what I tried to tell you. He came in while you was in that other room.
Shut up and don't move, Danny. You look just like a statue, except for the sweat dripping over your eyes. That's how I like to see you, Danny. Still. Very still.
Chigger, that gun.
Ain't you gonna say hello to me, Danny?
Hello, Chigger.
Chigger, you can't do it. You ain't gonna do it. Not to Danny.
No, baby. Get away from her.
No.
Do what he says.
No, but Danny.
Please.
No.
Knock her down. Get her away. Go on.
Baby.
No, Danny, I want to stay with you.
That's better.
How'd you find out I was here?
The manager, he's a friend of mine. He told me 5 days ago. Where's the 5 C's you took from me?
Oh. Here.
Yeah, thank you.
Now you got the money. Why not call everything square, huh? After all, you got back your dough.
It ain't the money, Danny. You worked for me. You know about me. And I know about you. I know I can't trust you. Never again.
I'll never tell what I know.
Nah, you won't tell.
What are you going to do?
Have some fun. They tell me you was a dancer once. Dance for me, Danny.
No, Now, listen, don't stall it, Chigger. Let me have it right away.
Dance. Go ahead.
Sure.
Yeah, your hubby's pretty good, baby. You love him?
Yeah.
That's fine. So for your sake, I'll do you a favor. I'll polish him off fast right now while he's dancing. That one missed. But these won't.
Danny. He missed. He can't hit you.
It's empty. That one should have got you.
They won't get me, Chigger. Something's happened to me. You can't kill me.
Oh, I done it with my hands before. Oh,
Chigger.
Oh, that pain.
Chigger.
My chest.
He just grabbed his chest. Keeled over.
He's dead.
No. He may be
He's dead. Go ahead, say he's dead.
Yeah. He's dead. But how?
How? How do you think, baby?
I don't know. He was alive a minute ago, and then... Danny, the room next door, what happened in that room? You were talking crazy when you came out.
Maybe it wasn't so crazy as you thought.
What'd you see in there? What happened?
You wouldn't understand it. But I want to know one thing. Did you tell Chigger I was here?
What are you saying?
You heard me?
No, how could I tell him he was with me all the time? Danny, let go of me.
You could have called him up.
Danny, what's the matter with you?
He wanted to let you live while he was going to kill me. You could have made a deal with him.
How can you say that? Danny, you're out of your head. You don't trust anybody.
No, I don't trust dames anymore. Did you call him? That's what I want to know.
No, I didn't.
I'll find out if you're lying. You better be telling the truth. You saw what happened to Chigger. The same thing could happen to you. You can die just like that if I want you to. You know that's true now, don't you?
Yeah. It's true. I seen it.
I'm going out. I want you to meet me later at our apartment.
Where are you going, Danny?
Where do you think? There's an old score I've got to settle, baby. I think you know who it is.
Danny, no. No, you mustn't.
Baby's face was scared like a kid's when I walked out. She seen what I could do. You don't believe it, mister? I didn't believe it myself until I saw it happen. Chigger died because at that minute I wished he was dead. That magician in Denver told me it could happen like that, and it did. Baby knew where I was going. She knew who I wanted to see. I told her because I wanted to find out just how much I could trust Baby. I had life and death in my hands, anybody's life or death. I could kill just by thinking about it. Yes, mister, I've still got that power. I can kill you right this second if I want to. It was the queerest thing walking through the streets that night. I seen men, women pass me by. They didn't know it, but just like that, I could have killed them. They didn't know how close they were to dying. They didn't know that the guy they passed on the street had more power than any man on earth. But I was going to use my power on someone who deserved it. On Queenie.
Oh, hello, baby.
Queenie, are you alone?
Yeah, come in.
Lock the door.
Why?
Lock it, please. I don't want him to come here. If he finds us together, he'll kill me. He'll kill us both.
Who? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Danny. He's coming here to murder you.
Oh, now listen.
Lock the door.
All right. Look, baby, when you called up, you said you had something important to see me about. Now, if you've gone out of your head, I just want to remind you I'm not running any lunatic asylum.
Don't you worry. I'm not crazy. Maybe I'm a little wacky for trying to help you. But I just couldn't see even you get killed without having a chance to save yourself.
Are you really afraid Danny's going to kill me?
I know he is.
That's a laugh.
You wouldn't think it's so funny if you seen how he murdered Chigger.
Danny?
Yeah? And he did it without a gun, without a knife, without his hands. He did it with just his mind.
What are you trying to tell me?
I'm telling you to get out of here as fast as you can, to get away where Danny will never find you.
What kind of a gag is this?
Queenie, I'm risking my life by coming here and telling you this. Something queer, something supernatural happened with Danny tonight, and he's got this power.
Listen, you better go see a head doctor.
Try to explain to her, baby. She won't believe you.
Danny.
It isn't old Mr. Big himself. How'd you get in here, Danny?
Over the roof and onto your terrace.
Did you hear?
Yeah, I heard everything you told her, baby.
Danny.
Seems that I can't trust you with a secret, can I?
I didn't want her to die. I didn't want her to die the way Chigger did.
You're a sweet kid, baby, but you're an awful dope.
Don't get sore,
But
Danny.
I am sore. I told you what would happen to any dame that would double-cross me.
Don't kill me. You mustn't.
He can't kill you.
Oh, Queenie, would you like to see how it's done?
Yes, I'd like to see how it's done. I'll call your bluff.
Sure. Watch.
Danny.
No use pleading, baby. I know what you are now.
Danny, honest, you don't understand. I just warned her because I love you. I didn't want you to get into trouble.
You tipped off Chigger because you didn't want me to get in trouble, too. You told him where to find me because you loved me.
I didn't tell him where you were, honest. Danny,
Good a liar as you were, Queenie. But maybe I'm wise to her because I didn't love her as much as I loved you.
Thought you were going to kill her. I'm still waiting.
You won't have to wait long.
Oh, Danny. Stay back.
No
Danny,
use, baby.
Look out, baby. You're backing out to the terrace.
Danny, don't come any closer. I won't tell anyone ever.
Too late.
Baby, come back here.
Danny, let me live.
You've always been soft. Mush.
Come back.
I can't. I'm falling.
Still think I'm bluffing, Queenie?
She fell off of the terrace. Quite an act. How'd you do it?
Would you like to find out?
Gonna pull the same act on me?
That's what I came here for.
Then why are you waiting?
Maybe because it's the first time I've seen you in years.
How do you think I look?
Beautiful. You're still the most beautiful woman I ever knew.
Maybe you ought to think of that before
I murder you?
I've always loved you, Danny.
Are you kidding?
Give me a chance to prove it.
A chance?
You gave baby a chance. You didn't do anything to her. You were sure she double-crossed you. Why don't you give me the same chance? Maybe if you found out how much I love you, you wouldn't want to kill me. You might want to take me in your arms again. Give me a chance.
Why not? You got your car downstairs?
Yeah?
Now let's get out of here.
Why?
When they find baby, they'll be coming up to ask questions.
Why don't you say something, Danny? You haven't said a word since we left.
I've been thinking things over.
What thing?
All the things that happened between you and me.
Why'd you stop?
Because this is a good place to stop. Nice, quiet street, no houses. On a block like this, you could scream and scream, and no one would hear you.
Danny.
Giving you your chance, Queenie?
I know what you mean. You're wondering why I left you, why I broke up the act.
Yes, Queenie. You never did tell me why.
Well, I know you thought that agent was in love with me, but I left you in Denver and went to New York because he really did have this job for me. I made a hit in that show. That's how I got my start. I did it for you.
For me?
You know what was happening to vaudeville. You know what was happening to our act. Broadway was the only place we could make a living. We couldn't go on starving. Just as soon as I got the job, I tried to send for you.
Did you?
Sure, but I could never find you. I tried, but you disappeared.
You didn't try hard enough. All our friends knew where I was. And I tried to get in touch with you. You wouldn't even answer my letters.
You're the only one I love, Danny. I don't care if you kill me. I'm just happy to be close to you. Just to be near you again. Oh, I'll put my arms around you. Be able to kiss you again. I love you, Danny.
Too late, Queenie.
Too late.
Yes. You're going to die.
When'll it happen?
Any second.
Can you stop it?
No?
Well, I'm waiting. Why don't it happen? I don't feel anything. No pains, nothing.
It will happen.
What?
Yes. Just a minute. I want you to die, and you will die.
Well, seems I'm very much alive.
I don't know. What happened?
I do. You're out of your head. That's what's the matter with you. You never did have much of a brain anyway. With no accident, you ended up as one of Chigger's boys. You couldn't even dance any good.
Queenie.
I only hooked up with you because I was starving, and I never did love you, not for 2 cents. I couldn't stand the sight of you. There's a cab coming down the street. Now I'm getting out of here. If you ever bother me again, I'll have you sent to the movie hatch.
She stepped out of the car and walked into the gutter. At that minute, I thought maybe she was right. Maybe I was imagining things. Maybe I didn't have this power. I saw her lift her hand to hail the cab, and then... The cab kept going. I got out, looked at her just to make sure. She was dead, all right. My power didn't fail. So then I checked in at this hotel and sent for you.
Why'd you pick on me, Danny?
Because you're a reporter.
What's that got to do with it?
Sometimes I think this never happened. Sometimes I think I dreamed up the whole thing. I want you to check up on it for me. I couldn't ask the police to do it.
I get it. Now, who's this guy you heard in the next room, the one who gave you this so-called power?
The magician in Denver said this is what they call a doppelganger. It's a kind of devil that has evil powers.
Well, couldn't you have just seen yourself reflected in that window?
No. What I'm telling you is true. Here's the names and addresses so you can check it. If it wasn't true, do you think I'd be here like this? Don't you see what's happening to me? I'm so scared I can hardly breathe. Don't you see that any second I might do something everybody does in their life? I might wish I was dead, and that what I'm telling you is absolutely true.
Okay, Danny. Maybe it is. You don't have to bang on the table.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Listen.
Will he reply?
He's in the next room. He wants me. I've got to go.
No, wait a moment, Danny.
Goodbye.
I waited there for a moment after Danny left. I heard nothing. And then... I ran to the room next door. Danny was dead. There wasn't a mark on him. I checked Danny's story from beginning to end. Baby was in the morgue. Listed as jumped or fell from Queenie's penthouse. Queenie was found by the cops in the street where Danny left her. We found Chigger in the hotel room, dead. The immediate cause of his death was marked unknown. The same with Danny. Maybe he was half-cracked. Maybe his talking about it suggested it to my mind, but I'll never forget the sound of that rapping coming from that empty room.
Of course, Danny wasn't really mad. Such things happen to anyone who's a little off the beam. And who isn't? By the way, if you ever try to strike up a conversation with a lovely ghost, don't get sore if she gives you an empty stare. She can't help giving you the ghoul shoulder. Which brings us to the moral of tonight's story. Never drop dead when your friends tell you to. That's how friendships break up. Good night. Pleasant dreams.
Sanctum was heard in the United States over CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System, and has been rebroadcast for servicemen and women overseas. This is the United States Armed Forces Radio Service, the voice of information and education.